Thank you. Thanks, sir. Thanks.
धन्यवाद सर.
Okay.
नेक्स्ट सेशन, लास्ट सेशन ऑफ द डे. इसमें दो टॉकर्स जो है अपनी टॉक देंगे. ये डभोई पर है. द गेम ऑफ मेडिवल टाइम डभोई गुजरात में है. मैडम पूजा शर्मा, आर्किटेक्ट, अहमदाबाद, इंडिया, एंड मिस्टर अल्केश जवेरी, न्यू जर्सी, यूएसए. अल्केश जवेरी जो इंडियन हैं और गुजरात के भी हैं, और लेकिन अभी यूएसए न्यू जर्सी में रह रहे हैं. तो कुछ पार्ट इसमें मैडम बताएंगी, पूजा शर्मा, और कुछ पार्ट जो है वो अल्केश जवेरी जी को बोलना था. तो मैं को चेयरपर्सन प्रोफेसर सुष्मिता सेन, हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ आर्कियोलॉजी एंड एंशियंट हिस्ट्री, एमएस यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ बड़ोदरा, गुजरात. मैडम सुष्मिता सेन मैडम, उनका मैसेज था शायद डेंगू हुआ है उनको, बता रही थी. तो हमें लगा कि तबीयत भी होगी सही तो शायद ज्वाइन करें. सुष्मिता मैडम, प्रोफेसर सुष्मिता सेन मैडम शायद है नहीं. को चेयरपर्सन के रूप में मैडम संजीवनी विद्या रत्ने, एजुकेशन प्रमोटिंग ऑफिसर, कोलंबो नेशनल म्यूजियम, श्रीलंका. मैंने मैसेज किया है, वो जल्दी ही ज्वाइन करेंगी शायद, क्योंकि अभी थी वो, थोड़ा सेशन लेट हुआ है तो शायद वो हमारा मैसेज. फोन आ रहा उनका. यस मैडम, प्लीज ज्वाइन. microphone, your microphone. No, from our side is auto. No problem from our side. Hello. हाँ ज्वाइन कर चुकी हैं वो, शायद कैमरा ऑफ है. Both are not working. Laptop or mobile, madam? पूजा तब तक अपनी स्लाइड शेयर करें आप.
Good evening, sir. First of all, Alkesh sir is going to present, so I would like to request him to present first.
Alkesh हैं?
Yes, sir, I can see him in the meeting.
Dr. Alkesh, Alkesh Javeri ji.
He is present, yeah.
Yes, Alkesh sir.
Yes, one second, sir.
Okay, I think
excuse me. Now I think my
संजीवनी के जो को चेयर हैं उनके माइक में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है.
now maybe I think now it is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Welcome and you and please introduce our eminent speaker both Pooja Sharma
Okay.
and Alkesh Javeri.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You all are most welcome again for the international webinar series under the theme Socio-Cultural, Archaeological, Natural, Geo-Heritage Sites, Monuments and Museums, Identification, Conservation and Management. Is a conduct government MSG FREVA. So in this session, there are two speakers going to deliver their talks. So it is a great pleasure for me to introduce our speakers today. First, may I introduce Pooja Sharma, the architect, Ahmedabad, India. She is an architect by profession and a heritage enthusiast by the passion, with 3+ years of experience in the field of architecture and building planning. She is a researcher in architectural heritage and always learn about the architecture of the past. And she started her education in TGGE SN Khansagar School in Rajkot and Delta School in Rajkot. And she had degree in Bachelor in Architecture in Dubai Prakash College School in Architecture. She worked as a junior architect junior architect and intern architect, and also freelancer in architecture and interior landscape. She obtained many awards and honors like National Student Design Competition, Housing for All and 3rd rank, and Bachelor in Architecture first class with distinction, and also National Virtual Conference Water Heritage of India as a participant, and also International Architecture Model Competition Top 20 7th rank, and First National Undergraduate Essay Competition participant, and International Architecture Thesis Award as a participant. And also next speaker is Mr. Alkesh Javeri. They are expert committee members on Heritage Foundation Jargon in India, and he had his postgraduate diploma in Human Resource Development and Master of Science in Statistics, Operation Research and Computer Programming from Maharaja Sajrio University in Baroda, and working as a retail sector since 2006 in USA with Walgreens at different position, currently working CVS Pharmacy at the front of end and as a shift supervisor. Worked as a training officer and program coordinator at All India Institute of Local Self-Government India, in charge of computer training programs at Vadodara Center and the multipurpose health worker training programs for the 10 years. We are assistant in smooth conduction of various conferences by All India Institute of Local Self-Government at local and national and international level. And he also participated World Mayors Conference, Millennium Development Goals and Roles of Cities at Kochi, India, organized by All India Institution of Local Self-Government. And also the International Seminar on Disaster and Crisis Management at Vadodara, and state level seminar on chemical related disaster and its management, and forum and innovative approaches in municipal finance, and also national seminar on fire and safety management, and workshop of the best practices scheme of solid waste management for the Vadodara Local Authority Technology Exchange, Birmingham. And also his main love is Gajalakshmi motif and its development and spread over Plan India, constantly reading various articles on Gajalakshmi and updating information about her. He is a member of Heritage Foundation Jargon. And also he presented various papers on heritage, like on Holi in North America, role of women is building water structures, the unsung lyrics of Hira and Teni. The at Flokore webinar held on conducted jointly by Malinadu Vichayana Janapada Jana Parampara Sambodhana Kendra and Rancha Kandu Sagara under the theme folk and tribal religious culture and practices. I'm sorry for the some words, and so may I cordially invite them to deliver the speech under the topic Dabhoi, the gem of medieval times. Thank you.
Namaskar to everybody. Good morning in America, good evening in India, and namaskar to everybody because we are in different zones, so we all have different times. Today we are going to present one of the important city of the Gujarat that is known as Dabhoi. The lecture is divided in two sessions basically. One portion will be talked by me, that would be the historical session. The second talk would be talked by Miss Pooja, and I had an opportunity to meet her while I was doing presenting the paper for Hira and Teni in Dabhoi, and we came into contact, and I thought that her ideas are very important for conservation of the Dabhoi fort. So I requested her to join this session and bring to the platform so the world also know how great the Dabhoi city is and how nice it is. Dabhoi is a very important city of Solanki kings. Actually, Dabhoi was in existence before Vadodara was even born. Right now, Vadodara is a very important city, but Dabhoi is in existence before Vadodara was born. So, considering the age also, this is very important business hub on the Silk Road. How we can say is like around and in Dabhoi, you can see various types of step wells, and as I calculated by some person, and when my friend talked with my friends, they found that there are 50 step wells. Presence of step wells around a city makes you know that how much the important the city was. A lot of people will be caravans would be flowing around this city, and the step wells would have been built for their stay and water support. So the session would be in the three sections. First, I would present some Dabhoi about Dabhoi. Pooja will then say what is the conservation, and at the end, we would be presenting a small video of Dabhoi gates. The video is made by me by collecting some pictures. In case there is a repetition, please forgive me because we try to make it on. I try to make it or collect the pictures on my own and make it. So whatever is collection is there. Sometimes there may be repetition in the collection. So without now taking your precious time, let me start my presentation by sharing my screen. And I have a special connection with Dabhoi, which I would reveal at the end of my session, while I would be thanking everybody. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. So let's start the presentation. Hope my screen is visible to everybody in a minute. Please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, now your screen is visible, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Give me a moment, guys. Let's start to go in the city of the Dabhoi. The Dabhoi was one of the great city in the medieval times, and this is the first impression of the Dabhoi when you enter. And this is the Hira Gate of medieval times. Looking to the history of Dabhoi, the Dabhoi history is divided into various eras, but the in previous sections are not much available till Gupta time. So if we look at this, This is a whole historical setup of Dabhoi, how it started Solanki era, Waghela era, Sultanate era, and Mughal and Maratha era. So this is timeline. Thank you very much, Ms. Pooja, to provide this timeline. Starting in the city, when we talk about Gujarat, Gujarat is a very important state. It is a state which has a various kinds of heritage. If you say Harappan heritage, it will present. If you say medieval heritage, it's present. If you say the in the middle star, the heritage is present. And at the end, you can also in Gupta heritage also that is present in Gujarat. And at the end, today we have a very important part of a heritage which is has developed as a Sardar Patel statue and the or Statue of Unity and Narmada Dam. So this state of Gujarat was a rule under various Mauryas, Guptas, later Guptas, Valbis, Pratiharas, and Chaudas. Then material what was available hasn't been able to collect a lot of records. But however, we can see that after Solanki, we get a considerable amount of records, and according on based on this record, we can say that during the Solanki and Waghela and other eras of Rajputana, till the Mughals came in, it was a very important city and was in a peaceful. So when the city and states are peaceful, they start making a lot of sculpture and development, as it is happening right now also in India. That when in the current situation, there is a lot of development going on because there are no fights or no riots going on in India. So during that state, they started building great buildings, and the stone sculpture construction was very important here. So here is one of the example. This is not exactly in Dabhoi. This is an example of how nice stone construction was there during the Solanki era. This section has been added later. You can see the pipes and other stuff. That is a British, and to support it, and is a British had tried to conserve. We should thank British government also very much that they collected a lot of data from us. They tried to conserve our monuments, which we had sheerly neglected it. जैसे वैसे हमारे हिंदी में कहा जाता है घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर कर दिया था. So let's go to the next slide and see what it says. So whatever was the study and mass of the study we found from the Gujarat said that during this Chalukya and Chowda kings, the heritage was developed, but sadly, as the Gujarat was in the plain region, lot of raids and fights, lot of attacks were on the city, and as a result, on the state, and as a result, all this beautiful heritage which they had developed, or all the beautiful monuments which they had developed, were plundered, broken, and everything. Still, whatever the part is remaining is a really part of beauty. We already have seen somebody with a Rani Ki Vav in the last seminar, and these were the people who were building who are the builders of Rani Ki Vav. But fortunately, Rani Ki Vav was saved, whereas these structures they were open, and so they were attacked. You can see the top one is the Dabhoi fort, and this is a part of Rudramala, which was again developed during the Solanki age. These are the gates of Jinzuwad, which you can see, and Dabhoi gate. So in this century, there was a very great development of Rajputana kings. These Rajputana kings developed various, started solidifying their rule in different parts of western and northwestern Gujarat, northwestern India, and they started to get their strongholds. Now to protect this stronghold, they started developing the forts. So fort was a special military technique culture which was developed by in the Rajputana time to protect the cities. As Dr. Sikrusa says that Sondaga Solanki also what they did was they not only built but they created the guilds, like it's a group of people who will go and build the forts. The second thing was these Though both the forts, the Dabhoi fort and Zinjuwad fort, look similar, you will never find that they are copy of each other. They are not present. And due to this guilds, we find many sculptures all around Gujarat, Rajasthan, some places of Madhya Pradesh also, which were under Solankis. The fort of Dabhoi is result of this kind of craft. So initially, this fort was initiated by Siddharaj Jainsi, but later on, the main construction and the development was by King Vishal Dev, who was a Waghela king. Now here we are seeing a Pattan pole. Again, you see the gates. We saw the Zinjuwad gate. This is again Pattan pole. Pattan is a word, very important word in the western region. Pattan means a very important city or a part, main city. So Anilwad Patan. Anilwad was the name of the city. Patan was given a suffix to it, saying that it is a very important. Somnath Patan. When you say Somnath Patan, so Somnath is the name of the city and Patan is the importance, that how important it was. Like a metro city. If you say metro, right now Mumbai, Madras, Bangalore, blah, 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 all are various cities. So these. So, well, as I said, that anything was important was they built the similar gates, but they never copied it. You see the corbels of both of the gates. Let me take you the previous slide, and you may be able to compare both the gates. This is a Zinjuwad gate, and this is Pattan pole. See, if you look at like from the far, most of them will look similar, and this continuous tradition continued till Parmaras and down even during Mughals also. But later on Mughals, this making of corbels were difficult by Mughals, so they started building arch structures. And there was a tradition for naming the fort gates as a Pattan. So this was Pattan pole in Chittor. This is the Lake Bonsar, which was developed by Siddharaj Jainsi's mother, I think, Minal Devi. And this is also a very good construction of this. I'm showing the examples of the Solanki era sculptures, so you may get the idea how Dabhoi would be if you go inside. This is again see the same thing. What I said. This is collected from British Library, and this is a Mandata gate. It's on banks of Narmada, because Solanki rule extended till in some parts of Madhya Pradesh all the way down south till Bombay. So you may see certain temples in Maharashtra which may have a Gujarat effect, and that is due to the guilds which this Solanki is carried, which I discussed in the previous slide. So looking at the location of the Dabhoi in Gujarat, here you can see how important is Dabhoi in Gujarat. Sorry, my mouse is like difficult to. This is Dabhoi in Gujarat. Oh, sorry, my guys. This is Dabhoi in Gujarat, located exactly at the next level. And this is again Dabhoi in the state, and this is in the Google map. So you just see the location, and you can clearly see that it is almost near the areas where there were different rulers, and that's why it was very, very much important city of the Gujarat. There is an important temple of Gad Bhavani in Dabhoi also, and the same Gad Bhavani is in Patan gate too. So whenever you go to Patan also, you will see a Gad Bhavani temple. You see Gad Bhavani temple in Dabhoi too. So this is the entrance of the Gad Bhavani temple. Now the name of Dabhoi is a new name. Before it was called as Darbhavati or Darbik Grama, and that has been found in various scripts written by Jains. So Jainism in Solanki area was also at a peak. So we will see only the information we get is from the Jain. More information we get about the Solanki kings is from Jain scriptures. And darb, it came from word darb. Darb is a very important grass. Tomorrow, a lot of people will be using darb day after tomorrow, when there will be grahan. So it's a very important sacrificial grass in our Indian Vedic society. This is again a Hira gate. So as we say that it was available in Jaina, and this is one of the section of the Hira gate. So this is the, as I discussed again before, how long the Siddharth Jaisi ruled. This is actually a representational map. It's not the original map of Siddharth Jaisi's rule. But what I found was it was covering almost area, but the Siddharth Jaisi's rule was almost up to Jalore region over this section too. And there have been evidences found that he used to go through the Luni River, travel through the Luni River in the boat to go to Binmal and Jalore and other regions. So his rule was almost spread all the way up to northwest. So what we look is that Mool Raja, the Chowdas were surrounded by Mool Raja, the founder of Solanki in Chalukya dynasty. And then they extended their rule all the way up to the Konkan region. And Bhimdeva was very great ruler, but due to the various attacks coming from various sides, he was not able to develop. So later on, when Muhammad Ghazali learnt about the Bhimdeva's prosperity, he had started attacking Gujarat like crazy. Every 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, he was attacking and in 1025, February 1025, he took over the Somnath and looted it like crazy. Again, then Bhimdeva, when understood, he again drove him back. But then it was all what was in Gujarat was almost taken away by these people. So his son Karna, whose name was Trilokya, with name of Trilokya, started to take rule over Gujarat, and Siddharth Jaisi after him took over. It was that time of Siddharth Jaisi where Gujarat reached to its peak or epic. As you say, Gupta age is important in Indian history, where there was a best sculptural development. Similarly, in the Gujarat history, Solanki age was the best, where they saw the best kind of development and best kinds of. The other thing happened was that the guild they built were so powerful and so nice or so expert that though Mohammedans conquered Gujarat, but they could never conquer the sculpture built by them. They had to adopt the structure. So you will see in various places that even if you see the Mohammedan sculptures, you will see that there is a part of Hinduist structure. This slide shows like how this was copied. You see the corbel over here. This is taken from Dabhoi. If we can see, this is an example. So I cannot like say prove, but we can see how they have copied each structure over here. So Mohammedans, though conquered the as a ruling, but they could not conquer the sculpture which the Solanki had established, and this is the sculpture. We already discussed about Jinjuwad, but Jinjuwad was more exposed. Being on the borderline, it was more exposed from the attacks coming from Sindh, as Sindh had already fallen down to the Muslims. So that's why these are very important military structures. But since Jinjuwad fall down, it has lost more glory most structural effect. And just now, in couple of days back, I read that some part of the Jinjhuwad gate has also fallen down, or a wall has fallen down, and similar thing happened in Dabhoi also because of the rains. So conservation of these things are very, very much important. And as we said that, I already said that Siddharth Jayasingh was not a person who would just deny the stronghold or the strength or the protection of his kingdom. So he had built various forts, and he was always free. So Champaner, Achalgarh, Chandravati, these are the region of northwest, were also under his sway, and he would. So he started building the gates, but he had not completed the gate. He had just started there and just made the gates, but later on they were destroyed. And as I said, the Dabhoi was important fortress. So here are the 4 important gates of Dabhoi: the Hira gate, all the 4 gates, and as I said that it was on the border of 3 various regions: Dabhoi, Gujarat, and there was another king Chalukyas. If you guys might have seen the serial Sobha Somnath Ki, Chalukya were ruling in the large wars. So we are not going into a lot of slide, but this is again the gates of Kalika temple. This is Mandata gate, again copying. And before we go to the next slide, we have to, Vishal Deva had 2 important ministers which are very famous for building temples of in Abu, the Delwara temples, Vastupal and Tejpal. So when Vishal Deva started ruling, he was very important. He was like he also wanted to make repairs and everything, and he started fortifying the cities to keep them away from various attacks from different people. They were not only facing attacks from outside, but they were facing attacks from inside also India. So they wanted to make it fixed that nobody attacks. So they started building these all fortifications and also repair the fortification and erections. So this is one of that gate in Mandata which was repaired. So Tejpala started building the gates, and here what happened that when the Solanki kings, it was a peaceful time, they were building various temples. Building of temples in a state or in sovereign state is very important. So I would say building of holy place, not the temples. Why holy place is important? Because that keeps community together, and when community sticks together, it protects itself from various attacks. Okay, it's a duty of king to protect the state, but if people inside are not protected, they won't be. So the building these temples were bringing the cross culture of various communities together, and then they saving. So Vastupala and Tejpal, who were very great builders, they started building various structures in Dabhoi also, and in and around the region like Chanod, Nandod, and more. So some king who was jealous, like whose name was Google, and he was in the Godra area. He sent, showing that, oh, king's duty is to fight and not to build the temples. So he sent a girl dress to the king of Patan. And Patan king was very taken aback that why this person is thinking, am I a coward? So he sent Vastupala and Tejpal to fight against king. And then when in this expedition, they started fighting and they conquered the region of Godra. And the Google was then taken all over wherever the Vastupala and Tejpal go build the temples. Google was carried on cage on the elephant. And later he was brought to Patan, where he was made to wear the apparels of ladies' apparels. So they showed that we are not just building the temples, but we can fight also. But the thing is, we want to take care of our citizens. That's why we were building this forts, temples, and others, which are the main kind of peace and prosperity. Coming again back to the gate, this gate was entered diagonally. So gates are very important military structures in of a swastika form. Swastika form entrances. One second, guys, my mouse is stuck up. So this way the swastika structure comes like. So you enter from this way and then come in this way. So every time you will have a corners. So corners were very important place where the army could not enter and they could fight. So Dabhoi gates were based on this kind of structure. I will show you the slide where how the structure is. This is again a line work of Hira Gate, how it would have looked by James Burgess, collected from British Library. So in the present situation, out of all gates, the Vadodara gate is the best gate which has been well preserved. The remaining gates are also good in good condition, but the best preserved gate is the Vadodara gate. From Vadodara, you will see that gate. These are the four again gates of Dabhoi. Just to give you a view. So names, Hira Bagod is the Hira gate. If we talk about Hira gate, it would take a whole another seminar. So I may have to go another presentation just talking about Hira gate only. Nandodi Bagod, Chandodi Bagod and Mahudi Bagod. This is again a line work of Hira gate. So whatever Hira gate you are seeing right now was not the original Hira gate, but it has been also rectified, built, conserved by Muslim rulers too. That's why you see there's this arc structure over here. Basically, there was no arc structure. It was a corbel structure in the Indian military forts. This is only the fort you will see where it has a like a arc structure. So gateways were considerably remodeled by Muslim, and pilasters in the outer half of the passage are replaced by pointed arches that we already discussed now. They also added some brickwork to the gates. It was mainly made of stone. And also you will find some inscription all around where the repeated construction and renovation of the gate has been found. The other important thing was these kings were also considering water of the city. Because it was a fortress, so the amount of water and food should be enough to fight considerable times of years, not months, years. So they built lakes, and in these lakes they also built a well as well. I would show the picture of well. This is a Saptamukhi wow, which is a very nice piece of work. And here you can see the brickwork also has been added to it. It's not only a stone work, but study is impossible because this lake has been constructed in such a way with the aqueducts that in any time this lake hasn't been emptied. Considerable times even the local self-government also tried to empty it, but they were never able to empty the lake to make it beautification. So that's why also I have a news clip that's showing that they do want to develop the lake, but still the work is not done. But this is the reason why it is not done. So these are again pictures from Hira Gate drawn by Henry Cushions. This is Hira Gate from back, taken picture by James Burgess. And this is the real picture in the later time. This lake we are talking about, you see, I already saw the wow. This is the well inside the lake. The lake is two octagons, and in between here there is a causeway to move all the way up to the walls of Dabhoi. There is a line and causeway to walk around, on which the horses can easily ply, like 4 horses or 5 horses can easily go. So if a baton is there is a pattern of soldiers moving, then you can see that they would move in 5 soldiers each.
So at the time, if they are the total number of on the causeway, as per my estimate, there should be 1,000 soldiers or 700 soldiers could be staying, moving on at one time. This is the temple of Mahakali from the side on the Hira gate. Basically, this is a Hira gate taken from various angles because this is a very important gate. And this contains very, very important different kinds of sculpture. Here you can see the big sculpture of Narasimha, the two elephants. The other important thing is this contains two important inscriptions during Vishal Deva, were known as Vaidyanath Prashasti. And on those Prashasti, you will see it has a inscription written about building and reconstruction, or you can say rebuilding of it's not rebuilding, but it's restoration of Vaidyanath temple. There are also another sculptures which were another inscription available by which says about Vastupala and Tejpala and their whatever they did in and around Dabhoi. So this is Vadodari gate again. You can see how big the wall is. Why I have given the picture of the particular angle, so you know how important the fort was and how big the fort was. It was a small fortress, but the way it was designed to protect is important. Vadodari gate. These are the intersection of the Vadodara gate. This is Maudi gate. These are some intersections of the Maudi gate. Nandodi gate. Intersection of Nandodi gate. Out, you are seeing this from outside, and from city you can come inside. These are also various structures, and you see here the restoration work is going on by ASI currently. Again, back to the Hira gate. This is the inscription I am talking about. So later on, after Solankis, the Muslim took over, and after Muslim took over, again Dabhoi was taken over by Marathas, and Marathas also helped to develop Dabhoi. Before I think Sayaji Gaikwad made the city of Vadodara, or Pilaji Rao, the father of Sayaji Rao, took over Vadodara and built up its main city. He still kept his ruling from this Dabhoi fort only. Again, we come to see the Vadodara gate. This city stands on a ground level, in complete took form of irregular square. When the city gates were built and the walls were built, it took an irregular square. It's not exact square like you see, but an irregular square. And we were the thick walls, and at every interval, these bostons were built and dressed with ashlar machinery. The addition of the brickwork was in the later time in the Dabhoi, and these additions are also I think are of the later time. They were not when Dabhoi gate was built. Here there were corbels, and from where archers could shoot the arrows. But then when cannon came in, they had to, and musketry came in, they had to change these gates. So they are very important to us. So this describes the curtain walls are about 30 feet high, and the top parapet that 10 feet thick. So it's a 10-foot thick wall, which could serve as walkways and other stuff, and were therefore the later on part, they had a pinnacle like this, which I will show you in the later slide. But later on, with introduction of a cannonball, those pinnacles were filled, because pinnacles were, when elephants or they come and strike very with harsh, the pinnacles will be able to hurt them, and as a result, the people will move back. So now, unfortunately, there is nothing left in names of wall. Only certain items have been remembered. So here you can see this was the construction of the gate. So these are the pinnacles, and later on, when they were filled, they were turned into walls. So this is plan which Henry Cushion draw. But you don't see any pinnacle or Boston Tower near the Hira Gate because Hira Gate was destroyed lot. But still, whatever is existing is the best military Hindu military gate of the world. So this is very old picture which is taken from again from British Library. Here you see the pinnacles, and here you see the position. Here there is no way that we can say this was used for cannon. This was used for a person to stand. These sections were protecting person from hitting the arrows, and from here the archers would fire an arrow, different kinds of arrow. One group will fire one arrows and then move back, and the other group from this area would come and again take over. Again, the second group will be ready, and that way they keep on turning around with the arrows in every area. That's why this is Boston Tower. I don't know what has happened to this tower. I have never seen it. So this tower must have been turned into rubbles, and the bricks may be in some of the Dabhoi houses. This is the picture of Vaidyanath temple taken by Henry Cushions. This is the current state of Vaidyanath temple and this is a same temple from another angle. So you see what is the condition right now. This is the image of Gad Kalika. Again, back to the front of the Dabhoi gate as we travel back in the gate, and we are back. So this gate was built by chief architect Hiradhar. And when king asked what is the payment you want, he said, just name one of the gates in my name. That's why this is a different. This gate is known as Hira Gate or Hira Bhagor or Hira Gate. This is the main important gate of the. So just add my name to the payment. That is my payment. So say that we forget about Vishal Dev, but we cannot forget about Hira, even when we are moving in Dabhoi. These are again pictures of Hira Gate. Here you can see Samudra Manthan. Very large images of various Indian deities. Basically, in picture, when you go to the gate, you will really see the beauty of this gate. I cannot express in words. My words would be very small for this. The backside of the Hira Gate we saw before. Now these are the two Vaidyanath inscriptions, the pictures of Vaidyanath inscriptions. Going down, again 3 gates of Dabhoi. This is the well which I was talking about. This is inside the lake. So whatever the moisture or the water was in the lake, if the lake becomes totally dry, they would be able to still get the water from these wells and the valves. How beautiful planning. Okay, let's see this now. We saw the beauty of Solanki era. Now we see the beauty of Gaikwar era. This is the 10th tala which was made by Hiradhar Shilpi. There is another story. It will take a whole seminar, so I don't want to discuss much about that. And here you see the Dabhoi junction. Now is no more. But this was Asia's biggest junction. And it was a narrow gauge, Asia's biggest narrow gauge junction, from where there were 5 lines meeting together and going to different places. I have mentioned in one of the slides the names of various lines, but I think we have to be taking care of time too, so this way. This is 10th Talao, which we discussed. This is again an octagonal talao built by Hiradhar Shilpi for her wife, so that she could easily get the water, and which caused Hiradhar Shilpi to be दीवार के अंदर उसको चुनवा दिया गया था और उसको फिर वहां उस तैनी, क्योंकि तैनी was an important maid of Siddharth Jaisi. She used to feed this. They hid Hira in the wall, but they made sure that he never dies there. They were feeding him with the proteinaceous ghee, and for the small air, they had a small pinnacle from where the air could go in. Because the whole team knew that if when the gate was complete, the last corbel nobody would be able to put except Hiradar. So on the later stage, when the gate was complete and the king asked that let's put this up, corbel, everybody said no, none of us are trained to do that. Only Hiradar can do it. But king said, I have already killed him, or I have penanced him to in the wall. How will it? So they asked that please give us Abhay Vachan, and they bring Hiradar Shilpi out. Hiradar Shilpi made the wall, the last corbel or the last pinnacle on the top of the Hira gate, and since his lungs were not had gone down for the breathing purpose, he could not take too much air from outside, and took his last breath and died. And the state of or the century lost one of the best Shilpi of the Indian military fortress. Here, what I was talking about, the aqueducts. These are representatives of the aqueducts pictures taken from Patan, but a similar kind of aqueducts may be here, but they haven't been found anywhere in the Dabhoi area. So whatever we say, we can only say by the experience or by the whatever is available in the written material. So here what happens is these aqueducts have been closed. So see how it becomes in summer, the 10th Talab. Whereas the Dabhoi Talab is never empty. That is my experience. And I have seen in so many years. So this is the place from where Hira was filled with clear butter. We already saw that too. This is the place from where Hira was filled with. He was given ghee. Now again we are back to the Khanderao. So Maharaja Baroda, as we said that, I already said before in my start also that it was an important place for the business. So a lot of people were doing business, and since the cotton production was very much in that area, to transfer the cotton to the city of Vadodara or on the main lines for Vadodara railways, Khandera built a small railway which was driven by oxen, and there were 6 carriages that were drawn on the railways with various. I will show this lines also if in one of my pictures we have it. But later on he also saw that the steam engines were developed, so he brought all the steam engines. Now these steam engines could not work on the previous set railways, so they had to remove all the rails, and they had to put the new rails for the steam engine. And when this was put, this Miyagam Karjan line from Dabhoi was closed for 2 days. So later on, these steam engines were bought in this Dabhoi junction, and new rails were laid. Today they have removed this. So this is a narrow gauge railway line. Everybody has seen Simla Kalka line. Simla Kalka line was just to move the British to the Simla, whereas this was for the commercial use, considering the development of the city. One important thing is that Dabhoi junction also had a largest amount of different kinds of steam engine which could roll on the various narrow gauges. Photo of Dabhoi junction again back. So this was the Dabhoi junction when it was operational. These were also what you see, this marble tiles, and is a later addition. Before it was just a painting. Going down, this was a coach which was used, and right now it is in the heritage park. Now the lines have gone, and all these history pictures you would be able to see only in the heritage park. So this is very important thing. This is turntable. So the engine would be settled on here, and to change the line, the turntable will be moved, and it will go on another line, and then the railway would go. So this is what was to change the direction of the engine. So if this is the direction the engine comes, this is its facing, it will stay on the turntable, then it will be turned around and the same line will be used to go back. This is Rolling Stock Park at Pratap Nagar in Goya Gate, Vadodara. Dabhoi Junction. This building was built by Gaikwads. See the beauty of the building. So we are talking about a very important line that started from Dabhoi, stopped at Vadodara and ended at Miyagam Karjan. In 2018, this railway was almost derailed to give ways to the broad gauge for the development. And here is in this link, if you go, you will be able to see all the different pictures. Since we have less time, I cannot show all the pictures. The last train to Dabhoi and Chandos was operated on 20th May, which I traveled, and the last train on Miyagam Junction was in July 2018, and then they were decided that they would remove these narrow gauge lines. So now currently they are trying to build broad gauge railways and connect us. Now Dabhoi also, this is a demolition, pictures of demolition when the Gaikwad railway station was broken. So this heritage building is already gone from Dabhoi now. So here is an article which describes, and here are the names of the lines: Dabhoi Timba, Dabhoi Miyagam, Karjan, Dabhoi Moti Kormwal connecting Pratap Nagar, Dabhoi Jambusar, Chota Udaipur, Tanakla, and Dabhoi Chanod. These are where the various railway lines they were going from Dabhoi Junction. And the article shows that the 50 tourists in 2010 came from Britain and they boarded all the trains and moved on all the trains, and they are photographed. Luckily, if we find this documentation, the documentation of the narrow gauge railway is very, very well preserved by Dr. A.K. Srivastav in the Heritage Part, Divisional Manager. Again, we are back to Hira Gate, seeing the Dabhoi Gate. Now, this is the part I was talking about. This will be a corbel, and this you see this right angle wall. So, if army enters from here, they don't enter straight. They have to turn around on right angles. That is called swastik rachana of the fort. This is again the part of Hira Gate, and this is King Vishal Deva with all his army. Inscriptions. Here you can read some words in inscriptions. We tried to take the best pictures. All the pictures are various friends have signed. Okay, I haven't gone to take these pictures. This is Garkalika Mata temple. This is the festival of Navratri in and around the Garkalika Mata temple. And this is the sad state right now this lake is going on. And here I asked Pooja to start her presentation for the conservation, and later I would show you the videos of Dabhoi kids. So this is the part of the city, how beautiful it is. This person is very important of Dabhoi, and it's called the Dayaram. So from this section, I would just stop my presentation for a couple of minutes and ask Pooja to give her slide, and later on again I will start my presentation from this position.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, Pooja.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening, one and all present in this webinar. I'm glad to be a part of this international webinar, and it is a great opportunity to present among you all scholarly people. First of all, I also thank Professor Mishra sir for giving me this opportunity, and special thanks to Alkesh Zaveri sir for making me a part of his presentation. Although it is a very short part that I'm presenting, but I'm glad that I'm a part of this webinar. So just give me a moment to share my screen.
Pooja, share your screen.
Yes, sir. Just give me a moment. Okay, can you all see my screen? Is my screen available?
Yes.
Okay. So, in continuation to Alke sir's presentation, I would like to further elaborate on the architecture heritage of Dabhoi and my approach on how to preserve and promote the heritage of Dabhoi, which was the last thing that Alke sir talked about, the sad situation that is currently present in Dabhoi. My presentation includes my architecture thesis work, which is all about architectural heritage and raising awareness amongst people regarding its conservation. First of all, I would like to introduce about what is architectural heritage. Architectural heritage is usually a landmark which is unique and which is geographically and historically identifiable place. It may be classified into four major categories, which are local, regional, national, and international levels. And architectural heritage is a symbol of representation of any of the following, such as a culture or religion, person or event, socio-economic or political status of the region, or the settlement or civilization of the region. What is the importance of a heritage site? It is a community asset, it is a source of knowledge, it gives an cultural identity, and it is also an economical asset of the place. It also acts as a note or point of reference in the sense of a landmark. Like people can take it as a point of reference. But the thing that I would focus on my presentation is the issues that architectural heritage is facing. The issues may be any of the following: the misuse of the landmark or the building, the social ignorance of the place, or the lack of awareness among the people about the heritage. As a study of the same, I have taken the case of Dabhoi, a fortified town, for my design thesis project. Firstly, I did a research study on the history of the old town and what all architectural heritage landmarks are present in the town. And then after, I identified one such historical context within Dabhoi, which can be transformed into a public place or a tourist attraction. Not elaborating much on the research part, as Alke sir has already briefed us about the same, I would just like to present the design approach that I have foreseen in my thesis project in a very concise format. First of all, I would just start with the town planning of the system, looking at the larger scenario of the town, how the town was foreseen by Jai Singh Sidraj. The town is planned in a square axis. Fort wall There is a fort wall with four major gates on all the four cardinal directions. The town is divided into four major quadrants, and there is a central open space in between, which is such kind of planning is called iron grid kind of planning. And also there is a moat of water surrounding the fort wall as a safety precaution for military purposes. The main axis of roads are running from east-west and north-south. There is a water body in the center, which is the major gathering space of the town, also known as the Nageshwar Lake or the central water body. There are also many various small water bodies, as you can see in the pictures in my slide. The stepwell, Saptamukhi stepwell, central Dabhoi Lake. There is a sluice on the opposite end of the Moti Bagh, the causeway leading to the Moti Bagh, and one such lake is present in the vicinities of Dabhoi, which is known as Ten Talao. The sketches that you can see below are depicting the evolution of the town. Firstly, there were only the water bodies that were planned out. As I mentioned, that it is an iron grid planning, and due to the military purpose, there were little water bodies on the fort walls, which could be acting as a safety purpose for the security of the town. Then the major two road accesses were developed. Later on, the settlement patterns started coming up. The Jain and the other various communities started coming up in the near the Nageshwar Lake, and this is how the town has evolved so far. Then after, I had to select one appropriate site for which can be ideal for heritage development, or which can be transformed into a tourist attraction place. So there were three probable site options. The first one that you see is the place near Vadodara Gate. The second one is the central water body, Nageshwar Lake, and the Saptamukhi step well. And the third one was Hira Gate, which has a Kalika temple also along with it. So out of the three identified options, I had to select one which could be transformed. Comparing the three options, the first option is a government and a private land, whereas the other two were government land. So one can raise this matter and approach the government to utilize this land and convert it into a heritage site and keep it open for tourists to visit the place. Whereas first option was not such much appropriate because it also has a private ownership. The second point was the kind of land use. The option 3 that I have chosen is the Hira Gate and Kalika temple. It is a residential plus recreational space, since it has a water body surrounding it, and also Hira Gate is the major node of the town. The advantages of the site were that it has a backdrop of Hira Gate and it is adjacent to the Ban Lake, so there is also scope for waterfront development around it. And other advantages we can see, there is also an ongoing proposal for Hira Gate contextual development, and a museum can be come up in the near future, and that is why I think it is a most appropriate option that I can go with. So going with the option 3, I have proposed my design, which I will share with you. First of all, what all was kept in mind while developing this place? As you can see in the pictures, these are the surrounding places of Hira Gate. The Ban Lake that you can see, it is totally spoiled with garbage accumulation, and that is the major reason that people don't like to visit such a place. Tourists are not attracted to the place. So what all can be done, or what all can be proposed by us, so that people can identify our heritage and value it? So the core activities that came up to my mind was we can propose a museum, an information center, a library, and the supporting areas such as a gathering space, cafeteria or recreational space, waterfront activities, so that people can get attracted to this place. Also, along with it, there was an idea to propose a heritage walk. So there were two options that I was working on. What all can be covered within the heritage walk, and what could be the route? So this was the proposed heritage walk map. So in the map that I prepared, the landmarks that I have covered are Hira Gate, first number. Second is the Kalika temple just beside it. Third one, Nandori Gate. Fourth is the Vadodari Gate. Fifth is the Dabhoi Tower, which is lesser known. Fifth is the Dabhoi Tower. Fourth is the Vadodari Gate that leads towards Vadodara. Sixth is the Mauri Gate. Seventh is the historic sluice. Eighth is the causeway in the central water body. Ninth is the Moti Bagh area, the vegetable market. 10th is the Saptamukhi step well, which is a very ancient step well. and people must visit this place, which is my point of view. And 11th is returning back again to the Barn Lake, where the heritage walk ends. Just to give an overview, these are the photographs of the site, the place surrounding the Hira Gate. You can just go through the pictures. Just going through the pictures, you would realize how intricately carved this gate is, and words are not just enough to describe the monument. And even though the place is an ASI protected monument, no attention is paid to develop it. So I'm just proposing a design for the same. These were the initial conceptual drawings that I was preparing, how the site can be responded. Various sketches showing how the building can be placed such a way that the monument is elaborated, how lakefront can be developed, and what all supporting activities can be placed. The design concepts were driven from the planning of the fort gate itself. As you can see, the planning concepts were a footprint of the fort gate itself, the entrance from the center and the built mass with a central void, an open space in between, a symmetrical volume, and a projecting or protruding opening on both the sides. So whatever built form I was proposing, I was taking inspiration from the existing monument itself. These were the various massing options of the building, various options in which whether the building would face the Hira Gate or the lake or the main road side. Now, interpreting the fort gate, the proportions of the gate were studied, how the staircase could be placed, what are the proportions of the mass versus void. So this is the main site plan of my area of design. The orange rectangle that you can see is the proposed institute that I am proposing in my design project, which is just in front of Hira Gate and adjacent to Ban Lake and the major road connecting to the town. I would just blow up the entire plan. Just give me a sec. So this is the main plan of the design. This one is the institute that I'm proposing. Here is an old temple already present. The journey starts from number 1. Here is the entrance of the institute from the 9-meter wide main road. This is the entrance of the institute. One would enter from here. The 17 number that you see is the parking space. This is the way to the lakefront. I have developed a lakefront taking advantage of the Ban Lake, the water body already present here. Second number is here is the entrance foyer of the institute. The 3 number that you see, all these are museum galleries where sculptures can be displayed, ruins can be displayed. Also, ruin gallery is also included in my proposal. This is the Nageshwar fort that I have proposed. It is a water body. You can see that it is similar to the town planning system of Dabhoi, with a central open space, which is a water body, and the surrounding is a mass. This is how I have interpreted the larger context in the smaller design. Here is the reception or waiting area of the institute, 5 number. 6 and 7 are the curators and the admin office of the entire institute. 8 is a ticket counter and a luggage storage space. 9th is a souvenir shop. Also, a souvenir shop is included in the proposal, and a workshop other places like viewing deck. There is a viewing deck, the already existing stone deck that is already present at the site is utilized as a viewing deck where one can stand and take a view of the entire monument and the lake, also the institute as well. Here is a Mahadev temple which is already existing and that I have proposed to be restored and used as a gathering place. This is the plaza of Chainsi Siddharaj. Here is the huge monument of huge sculpture of Jai Singh Siddharaj, which embraces the history of Dabhoi. A plaza has been dedicated in the entire design to Jai Singh Siddharaj. And 19 is the viewing gallery, the gallery of James Forbes. James Forbes has uh, written a lot about Dabhoi. Here is an amphitheater where outdoor activities can take place related to history and heritage, cultural events can take place, public gatherings can happen. This is the Hira Gate itself. The landscaping has been revised, and here you can enter the old city. So it would act as a major node of the town, and tourists can be attracted in a way. All the peripheries of this Ban Lake have been developed as sitting places, as you would see in lakefront development projects. So this was the main plan of the design, master plan. These are the floor plans of the museum galleries and the ruins galleries. The first floor includes a library, reading area, stack area, store, a multi-purpose area, and utilities. And in the basement, there is a sculpture gallery, ruins gallery, where ruins can be displayed. People often see stones lying, engraved stones lying here and there when you would visit Dabhoi, but they don't understand what is the importance of it. They just consider it as a piece of stone. But I think that it could be brought up into a museum and it could be researched on, and various underlying stories can be discovered. There is also a restoration area and a visitor's guide, which could be a place from where the entire heritage walk is being guided, and the gallery of Hiradar Shilpi. So these all were the major spaces included in my design proposal. On the right, you can see the detail of a ruins gallery, how ruins can be displayed and people could discover the hidden story about Dabhoi's history. I had also made a digital model of the same, of my design. These are just a few pictures of the same. Also, a handmade model was made to describe what all I am envisaging in this project. So this is a handmade model of Hiragate and the proposed institute. Some sectional drawings which could show the relationship between the monument, the land-water interface, and how human activities would come up once this place is activated. Like, one must think about this, how human activities could take place, so that there is a one-to-one connection and people could get a relation with their heritage, which they are not knowing about already. I would just flip through some zoom in pictures of my model so that you could get a clear picture. This is the Hira Gate, and this is the Heritage Plaza that I have proposed, where cultural events can take place related to the history and heritage of Dabhoi. This is the viewing gallery of James Forbes. One would come up here from the basement up to the ground floor, entering to the Jaisi Siddharaj Plaza. This would be the heighted sculpture of Jaisi Siddharaj. And these are the viewing decks and the lakefront sitting spaces along the water body. The Hira Gate itself and its compounds. This is the way towards the old town. The gallery of James Forbes, where the verses written by James Forbes can be displayed on both the walls, and visitors can just climb up and while reading the same and enter the Chaisi Siddharaj Plaza upwards. These are the views of the model. This is the plaza that I'm talking about. The museum gallery. This was a minute model made to just understand how the concept of museum will work for heritage or history related purpose. How would be the circulation, how the displays could take place inside the museums. It was a longer research study for on the same topic, which I have not been elaborated here. Various other views of the model. This is the lakefront that I'm talking about. These are the chhatris where people can sit and just enjoy the view of the monument, the backdrop of Hira Gate, and the water body besides. Also, lakefront activities can take place here, the evening outdoor activities. This is the amphitheater. This is the existing Mahadev temple that I'm talking about, which could be restored and people could come up here again. Various other views of the model. This is the temple, way towards the lakefront. These two are the major building blocks of the institute: the museum, viewing gallery, ruins gallery, library, restoration area, and the workshop. All the functions have been incorporated in this proposed building. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. That's it on my end. I hope it was informative, and it is just an attempt on how we can raise awareness amongst people to conserve our lesser known heritage. Any comments or suggestions are welcome. Thank you. Next to you, Alkesh sir. You may continue with the video.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So we were talking, as Pooja proposed about Dabhoi. Here are some those pictures of these places which are in the current status. This is one of the heritage building of Dabhoi. When you enter through Mahudi Gate, you walk through this causeway. This is very important building. These are some Jain temples in Dabhoi, and this is what I was talking about. The beautification of the lake they want. As we know, we also cover flora, fauna, and others. So there is a very great bird sanctuary over here. There is a bird sanctuary in Dabhoi, near Dabhoi, that is called Vadwana Lake. So if you can include in the pujas, after your heritage walk and the whole day walk, early in the morning, people can go and visit this Vadwana Lake. It would be a choice.
Yes.
Second thing I was going to add is to have a kiosks.
Yes, sir.
Where you can see the history of Dabhoi. That's why this video was actually made.
Yes.
So how the kiosk can look. These are all your hidden slides. So I'm going to flip it in. Oh, sorry guys. Just faster. So here we see the gates of Dabhoi in various videos. I have tried to compile all with the pictures. This is the person, our Reddy, who share me all pictures. So here we come to the Maudi Gate, and these are the images of Maudi Gate. The Maudi Gate basically has a sculptures of Shakti Sampradaya too, which you can see here, and Nath Sampradaya. Also, there are Yogini sculptures in all different gates. Basically, Nando the gate you will see, which may be appearing after this. This is Nandoti Gate, and here we have sculptures of yoginis and Vyalas, mythical image. Yogini sculpture, Chamunda. See the big sculptures, restoration work. This is, I think, Vadodara Gate. This is the person who has provided me all the pictures, so I am very thankful to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. At the end, I'm going to thank all the people who have helped me, because I am in USA and they have supported me with their various pictures and history of Dabhoi, and giving me the required study material. So first of all, I would thank to my wife Asha Zaveri, who is resident of Dabhoi and has helped me a lot to give me knowledge about Dabhoi. The second is Amar Reddy, who supplied me all the pictures for the video. Vitrak Patel, he is also a young kid from Dabhoi who is running our Dabhoi page, and he has supported me. A few friends, Bhargav Kansara, Dodia Yashesh. Special thank to Dr. Sri Krishna Jugnu sir, who gave me the reference about the Pattan poles. Dr. Jitendra Gavli, whose nature walk pictures I have used. Mandipa Bose and Shilpa Mishra, they gave me the pictures also. Dinkar Vyas and Harshad Bhai Kadia also gave me the pictures. And near to the Dabhoi, before I end up, there is another place called Karwan, which is a Lakulish Nath Sampradaya place, which is also a very important place, and we can visit there. So that can be included in. Then Sri Jitendra Singh Ji Gaikwad, one of the members of royal family of Vadodara, and all the heritage lover friends who gave me the pictures. Special thanks to Sunil Modi who took various pictures, and Tushar Dhake who gave me that pictures from narrow gauge. So here I take and end my presentation. And over to the
Alkas, can I ask you one question?
if anybody has any questions, they can ask me, please.
I'm PS Thakkar. I want to know whether are there all 64 yoginis at Nandodi Gate?
A deep study is required for that, and most of the sculptures have been ruined out. So I'm not sure you will. They must be 64 yoginis because these guilds have built, but a lot of them has been lost in the ruins. So unless and until we do a deep study, we won't be able to know about it.
Okay. I want
Because-
to draw your attention to 2 to 3 points. One is
No, one second. Let me finish, sir. Because these Dabhoi cases have not been put in a lot of research, and that was the main purpose to bring this to highlight, so that people can go and do a significant amount of research work. So the questions like this can occur to different people can be answered. So that was the main reason to present this slides and show you all the gates and talk about it. There is no significant research done in Dabhoi gates. I felt like if Sushmita madam would have been in as a coach, as a chair, and would have attended, we could have sent some students from MS University to again do a great study over there. Now you continue, sir.
okay. I want to draw your attention to 2 to 3 points. One thing, I think Pattan is used for port town, seaport, coastal, or riverine port. And
Yes,
second
you are
thing, Siddharth Jaisim was traveling from Patan to Sanchor to his maternal uncle's place. From Varahi to Varahi, he was going through chariot, and later on he was going by boat in a river from Tharat to Sanchor. And
Sir,
another
I would like to know this point because I am also working on Binbal. So please share your contact to Mishra sir, and I would take care of that point too.
I am member in Atulya Varso also.
Oh, good. Thank you. I am also member of Atulya Varso, so we would be in contact, sir.
Yes. And another thing I was thinking that you said swastik gate. I think there were L-shaped gates all over in Kutch. Most of the fort. There were L-shaped gates to reduce the force of elephants.
Yes, this was told by me yesterday only by Mr. I forget his name. He's one who makes various pagadis. So I'm not remembering his name. Jaivir Si Jadeja, he explained me this swastik gate structure.
Okay.
And that's why I put it because they know more about the fortresses because they are the vanshaj of the Rajput kings.
Mm-hmm.
And they do the study. That's why I took these points in that view.
And there were 5 gates in Jinjhuwada, and the lake is Sinesar Lake, and there is a well in Sinesar Lake also, and nearby there is Samarvav, and out of town there is Maitri Vav.
I do understand, sir, but we are talking about Dabhoi, so I won't go all the details of Jinjhuwada.
But you can take a study also Jinjhuwada.
Sure, we would add to the point when I come to India.
Okay, thank you.
I am not in India. I'm already from US, and I'm presenting everything from US.
That I know.
So collecting the information is difficult. They don't even give. If you call somebody professor, just see our professor. She missed the whole session.